Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel SummarizedAI. As part of this video, we will discuss things around virtual environment and see its implementation. So let's go ahead and start. Imagine you are working on multiple Python projects on your computer. One project uses Django 3.0 as a Python library, while another needs Django 5.0. Now, if you install everything globally in your main system, these versions will start clashing, and suddenly one or the other project may stop working properly. Now, reinstalling or switching dependencies every time you move from one project to another would be a nightmare, because currently we are talking about only one library, but in our Python projects we used to have like n number of libraries. So switching a version every time, not possible at all. That's where a virtual environment, which is venv, comes into the rescue. So a virtual environment is like a separate mini workspace for each project. It keeps all your dependencies isolated to project. So whatever you install for one project is stay inside its own folder and doesn't mess up your other project. Okay. So I have this project one. So whichever dependency I require for this particular project, I can go ahead and install. Okay. Now these all dependencies are not going to intersect this one. Okay. And this project will have its own. Now, this is where this virtual environment VENV comes in picture. But before going to VENV, correct, we have to understand where actually it helps us. So as discussed, it avoids dependency conflicts, as every project has its own dependency. Second point is it keep your project clean and organized. So we have everything related to this project into this project folder. And for this one also we have within this folder. So no folder is talking to each other. Okay. Now we will discuss about that thing also, like where we have global dependencies, and those global dependencies will not coincide with this local dependencies we have in folder. Now the third point is it is easy to work on multiple projects with different requirements smoothly. Okay. Yep. Now let's see the implementation and how it works, why it did not get conflict, okay, and creates an issue. And this is, by the way, very important for you to understand, because you might be working on your own project locally, which require a different dependency, but the project which you are working for your organization or company or the multiple project, and if you require different dependencies there, this venv is the one which you can use. Great. Now let me go to my folder and open the command prompt. Okay, after opening the command prompt, I will be writing a command which says python -m venv and then the project name. So I'm saying example_1. Okay, so I'm creating a virtual environment for example1 project. So this is nothing but my project name. Okay, if I say enter, you will see here it will start creating that particular folder structure for example1. Yep. And that particular folder will have multiple subfolders like script. I think it did not get refreshed. Let me go back. Yeah, it got created. It has include, it has libs folder where our old dependencies is going to sit. And after that we have scripts. Okay. Now, once we have this got initialized, okay, I can go inside this particular folder. After going into this folder, I'm going to say only one thing, pip list. Okay. Now, as soon as I say pip list, it will show me all the global dependency, these many. these many global dependencies we have. Okay. Now, suppose if I say pip, or this is like the global dependency, but if I want to enable my virtual environment, okay, so whatever I'm going to work, I wish to stick with my virtual environment. For that, we have to activate this virtual environment. Okay. Now, if I go into this particular example one folder, inside this folder, you will see we have this activate. This activate helps us to activate the virtual environment. Okay. Now, if I say this and then activate, enter. Now you will see we are able to see example one in the front. Correct. Now, as soon as you see this, this means our virtual environment got activated. Now, if I say pip list, now it says you don't have any dependencies, which means this particular project is a fresh project. It is not having any dependencies from anywhere. Okay, so you see like all these dependencies it ignored. Now, if here you are going to run pip install, okay, for example, I would say bias CPU, okay, it will install this particular FIOS CPU dependency in this particular folder, example underscore one, and it will not get conflict with the global one. And whenever we are going to run this particular project, it will use this one. So now if I go back to the example one folder, and if I go inside libs folder, side packages, you see all these we have related to the FIOS. Okay. Now, if I say pip list, for sure it is going to show this much only, not all. See. Okay. Now, after this, once we have, and if I again go ahead and run this particular command and say deactivate in place of activate. Okay. Now what will happen? It will come out of example underscore one. You will not see in the front. Okay. Now you see pip list. Now again, it will start using the or referring to the global dependencies. Great. Now I will again activate it and run a command here, pip freeze, okay, bracket. And before that, yeah, pip freeze, oh, sorry, pip freeze requirements.txt. Okay, let me first run this particular command and then we will try to understand what we are exactly doing here. Okay, now as soon as we run this particular command, you must be seeing inside this example folder, there's a file got created. And this particular file, oh, let me get this thing here. And this particular file, if you see, is having all these dependencies. Okay. Why? Because why we have created this file. Suppose if I give this particular file to anyone, requirement.txt, if that person is going to run a command pip install -r requirement.txt, whatever dependencies we have with the version, exact dependencies will get installed in other developers machine, so that every machine, every developer's machine will be in sync, and we will not be facing any issues in dev, Q, or higher environment because we are using exactly the same version what on which we have developed the application. Okay. Now this is done. We are able to get this. Now, if I go back here and if I go back to my command prompt and I say cd dot dot, and if I try to create one more virtual environment or project, okay, example underscore two, enter, let it create a one more project parallel to example one, which is example two. I got this thing here. Okay. Now, if I get this particular requirement.txt file from example one, to example 2. Okay. Now, after getting this particular file, if I will activate my virtual environment for example underscore 2 folder or project, I would say. Okay, it got activated. I am able to see example underscore 2. Now, if you see pip list, if you say pip list, it's saying pip 24.2 because we have just created this project. Now, as you know, we have already copy pasted the requirement.txt, and this requirement.txt is having these dependency. Either I can go ahead and say pip install files and it will get installed, but just just try to understand here we are talking about only one dependency. For actual project, you will be having 30 plus. You are not going to run that manually. So we will copy this requirement.txt, and after copying it, if we say pip install -r requirement, oh, first I have to go inside that folder. Okay, example 2, and say pip install -r requirement.txt. See, it is trying to install all those dependencies. See, bias. Okay, and let me go here also in the this. See, it is creating. Okay, so let me go back. Yeah, it is still creating. Now, if I go back again, you see more folders came. Okay, now this is one thing. The way we are able to install the libraries from one folder to another, and this is like why we use this requirement.txt to manage the dependencies on each and every project or machine. So this is all we have around the virtual environment and why we need and the implementation. Thanks for watching this video. If you found this video helpful and want to see more video on AI, don't forget to like and clicking on notification bell icon to stay updated and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.